Monsanto. Ron, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good, Jim. Good to hear your voice. How you doing?
Pleasure to talk to you, and we're going to live vicariously through you and Ron, you and Pat a little bit more, since the difference in temperature from there to here is about 50 degrees.
Oh, man, and I understand you had about 10 inches of snow. I know Patrick, my partner, took him 15 hours to get here from Arizona yesterday.
Yeah.
He left his house at noon and got here about 1 o'clock at night.
It is certainly not baseball weather up here yet, Ronnie, and a little more than a week to go till opening day at Wrigley Field. And I know probably at this point the players are ready to wrap up spring training, but when you hear weather forecasts like that, I'm sure another week in Arizona doesn't sound too bad either.
No, you know, I was talking to Lou on his show today about that, and he said that there's two good things. I mean, you know, when they do leave here, you know, with the hot weather and being here as long as they are, or long as they have been, they get back, you know, to cooler weather. They're going to feel a lot stronger, but then it's going to start feeling cold. No doubt about it.
Well, and the first month schedule is kind of interesting in that the Cubs, first of all, play 15 home games at Wrigley in the month of April, and all their road games are in cold weather cities as well. And you wonder, with the way the weather has been in the Midwest, it's been a chilly spring. Well, it's been a cold winter, a snowy winter, and they say it's going to be a wet and chilly spring. You wonder if that's not going to affect the Cubs at some point too.
Well, it's going to affect everybody that's in the Midwest and probably East Coast or whatever. And there's no doubt we're playing more games the first 2 months at home and a lot of night games. So it's really going to depend on good pitching and good defense, because I don't think you're going to score a lot of runs.
Today's pitching matchup, Ted Lilly going for the Cubs against Javier Vasquez. I know Ted's got a 6 ERA this spring, but most of that was in one bad outing, as I recall. How long does he go today?
Well, he's probably going to go 5 if he can. And the reason that Ted has not been throwing, Jim, the breaking ball or the slider as much, just the fastball. So he's changed his speed. He's using the fastball changeup, but now he's going to start throwing that breaking ball a little more and the slider, go to all his pitches. And as you know, here in Arizona, the breaking ball doesn't break as well. So I haven't really, even with Rich Hill, I haven't seen a good curveball in spring training.
And Ted Lilly has nothing to prove here. He's just kind of working out the kinks and getting ready for the season. How long do you think he'll go today?
I think 5 innings. I really do. It just depends on how many pitches, but I think he'll go 5, and if he gets it done in a hurry, he might go 6.
Ronnie,
as you said, Jim, we're only a week away, and they're going to get. And I know that Lou had said that he wants a few of the players to have more bats, like Lee and Ramirez and Soto and other guys, and he wants his pitchers to go as far as they can.
Ronnie, you mentioned Rich Hill, who's had a kind of a rough spring, but Lou Piniella sat down with him, right, and pretty much told him he had nothing to prove either, just get himself ready for the season, right?
That's exactly right. He's really struggled. He struggled with his control. And really, to be honest with you, Jim, it's just a little mental problem. You know, we had a little more competition for the starting, not with Hill, because he's going to be the 4th starter, but the 5th starter with Lieber and Marquis. But him not pitching well, he would probably worry about maybe losing the 4th job. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But in general, I mean, they've got some pitching depth on this team, and that's a good problem to have for Lou Piniella.
It really is. It's the best they've had. They've got starters, and the bullpen is just excellent. And I really like our defense this year. Really like it a lot.
Ron, Cubs and White Sox, always an interesting game. Probably not as interesting as it used to be. We have interleague play. They play 2 series a year now, and is there any significance to this game anymore, or are both teams just getting ready for the regular season?
Spring training, no. I don't get me wrong. They want to win. I mean, the Cub organization wants to win. The Sox organization wants to win for the fans. There's no doubt about that. But during the season, I really it's a type that I worry about when we play the Sox 6 games. It's very important because it could mean the difference between first and second, to be honest with you. So, but they beat us the last time we faced them, and hopefully today we could beat them.
And around the starting lineup today, we have Fontenot leading off, Soriano batting second, and Lee Ramirez and Fukudomi in the fifth spot. And I know recently Lou had talked about Fukudomi being more comfortable in the second spot and Soriano batting third in front of Lee and Ramirez.
I don't think he has a set lineup yet, but today he's going. He's been having Terrio. Terrio's getting a day off, and Fontenot's playing short. So you might see Fukudomi either in the number 2 spot or the number 5 or 6 spot. It's a variation, and it depends, Jim, if we make a deal. If we make a deal, then that changes a lot of things. So, but it's a good lineup. I mean, no matter how you have it, we have a little more speed this year, and if they have the years they should have, it should be a big year.
And Ron, maybe tomorrow afternoon on Cubs pregame, we'll talk about the possibility of a trade. I'll let you get back to the ballpark, enjoy the weather, and get ready for the game. A pleasure talking to you again, Ronnie.
Nice talking to you, Jim.
Ron Santo at the ballpark in Mesa getting ready for the Cubs and the White Sox. Coming up, we'll hear Ron Santo's conversation with manager Lou Piniella on the Lou Piniella Show here on the Cubs Central pregame show on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Are you tired of watching your life?
I don't know. You got to ask him. There's a lot of signatures on there. He wanted you to sign under the envelope.
Okay.
For him. There's a lot of signatures down below.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This man down there wants you to sign these cards.
I don't sign that one.
You don't sign that one?
That's a National League
Doesn't
card.
sign that one.
Yeah.
Why don't you sign that one?
Because it's a National League card. I have a national, and all they did is paint the hat and they traded on it.
Oh, wow.
So
It's not official.
Not when I was.
Got it. Thank you.
Cubs Central Lou Piniella Show on News Talk 720 WGN, sponsored by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers.
Hi, everybody. Ron Santo back here in Mesa with the manager of Chicago Cubs, Lou Piniella. Well, a week from Monday, Lou, opening day in Chicago, and I have to tell you, yesterday you had 10 inches of snow in Chicago. It's amazing, but I understand it's supposed to get a little warmer next week, and hopefully the snow will be melted and we'll be ready to go.
Yeah, we need to be ready to go. The weather here in Arizona has been beautiful. And you get out of this warm weather and you get into that cooler weather. Two things happen. One, you get real strong,
Yeah.
which is good. And then the second, you got to get used to that cold weather. Hopefully it'll warm up, though. But it'll be cold for both teams. Milwaukee is our opponent. They've been down here in the same Arizona heat we have.
Yeah, I know this spring you're not happy about the wins and losses, and I don't blame you because down here you'd like to get momentum going into the season. But how do you feel about the ball club?
I like the ball club. I think there's some things that we still need to do with it. I think a few of our big boys need a few more bats. I mean, you talk to them and they talk like, hey, let's get ready tomorrow. We're ready to go. I haven't quite seen that. So we get Ramirez a few more bats. We get Lee a few more bats. Soriano. DeRosa that had the heart problem. Right. He needs some more bats. Our pitching's been good all spring. I've been pleased with that. Our bullpen, the people that we're really counting on here have had good springs. We haven't had roughly any injuries at all with our pitching. Position-wise, we got our injuries out of the way early in the spring, and now we're getting ready for a championship season. Look, we've got a ball club here that catch the ball well. I think we're going to pitch well. I'd like to see us swing the bats a little better this last week, and I know that the concentration factor is a problem down here, the fatigue factor with the hot sun and everything else. We do a lot of work early in the morning. You stand out in that sun, then you come in the clubhouse and you cool down, then you go out and play. Look, I've been through this thing as a player, and you have too, Ryan. It's not the easiest thing in the world. But, the manager is always the one that likes to be a little cautious about things because he's got to answer to them. But I do like the team. I really do. Jim's trying to help us out a little bit with a move here or a move there to give us a little more depth, maybe a little more experience. And we'll see what happens in that front. But we're prepared to go with what we got. I think about the only thing that we don't have here is a backup center fielder. I've had to put Focadomi over there. I don't think Sam Poole is quite ready for this yet. So I think if we get some help at all, I think that's in the area we'll get it.
Yeah, when you talk about Fukudome being in center field, I mean, I found out he played in 2004 center field all year, and so it's not strange to him out there.
No, but his preference is right field, and that's where we're going to start the season, in right field with him.
What about the bench?
The bench, the reason that we haven't talked bench too much is because of the fact that any trade that we make would probably have a big impact on what we do with our bench. That's a good word, which is true. Impact. So, look, right now we got Blanco as our backup catcher. We know that we got Big Ward. It'll be a nice bat coming off the bench. We've got Merton in the outfield. Utility infield-wise, Fontenot's had a real nice little spring. He's played shortstop well, which has impressed us. Before he got hurt, Cintron was swinging the bat fairly well. We moved him all over. And then Cedeno. Cedeno's picked it up here in the past week or so. So that's what it looks like to me. But notice, of all the guys that I named there, nobody can play center field.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I think that if you see us do something here towards the end of spring training, trade-wise, acquisition-wise, it'll be in that area.
When are you going? We're going to Vegas next Thursday after the ball game. Are you going to be down to 25 men, or are you going to carry a little more into Vegas?
Well, we're going to carry a few extra players, but we would like to have the team sorted out by then. If not, at least maybe just one spot not sorted out. I want these guys to go over there nice and relaxed, knowing that they're going to Chicago with us. If they're part of our baseball team, that we're happy to have them. I want to have everybody in roles. I want to have the rotation put together. We'll do that Monday, by the way, and we'll have our closer situation announced by Monday, too. So, but the only thing that might not get sorted out is the bench, and that's because I think as we speak, Jim's probably trying to help us in that area.
Very good. Well, let's go get a win today, and let's see if we can get 5 in a row here. I'd like to do that.
Well, I think the most we've won in spring training is, 3 in a row?
3 in a row.
Yesterday we lost a tough game over in Tucson. We've got our regular lineup out there today, except I got Fontenot playing shortstop, leading off. So, yeah, it'd be nice to start winning with a little regularity and build some steam up for the season.
Let's go get it.
Thanks.
Lou Piniella, the fine manager of the Chicago Cubs. We'll be right back with more baseball on the Cubs Radio Network. altar boy at Our Lady of Ransom. Keep it up, buddy. Thanks.
Cubs Central pregame on News Talk 720 WGN is sponsored by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois and Jiffy Lube.
And welcome back to Cubs Central pregame. I'm Corey Provis. Much like a year ago, Sean Marshall finds himself in a very difficult spot. Last season, his hopes of making the team out of spring training took a hit due to an injury. But this year, Sean is healthy, pitching well, yet finds himself battling a few veterans for the fifth and final spot in the starting rotation.
Last year, came into spring training, I guess about a month behind all the other guys, and that was kind of disappointing because I didn't get the innings to pitch in spring that I wanted to, and I was behind starting the season. But this season, we're in better shape. We're ready to go.
Where do you see yourself with this staff, not just as a starter, perhaps in the bullpen? Is it kind of up in the air for you right now?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's going to go out and pitch well and get everything, all my pitches and everything ironed out during spring training. Hopefully that'll put up some good numbers, and hopefully they got a spot for me.
Is there one specific pitch you want to work on more here at the outset?
Well, I guess my curveball has kind of been my big thing. I struggled a little bit with it last year. I want to be able to just throw it any time I want and any count for a strike, and that was one of the things I've been trying to work on this off season. Hopefully it'll come to me here in spring.
How much do you read, Sean, the papers in the off season? I ask that because your name has popped up a lot with trade rumors. Does that affect you, impact you in any way?
I mean, a little bit. I kind of kept up with some of the trade rumors, and I'd keep in touch with my agent trying to see what the scoop was. But the bottom line is I wanted to stay here in Chicago with the Cubs and pitch. I mean, it's obviously one of the best teams in the country to play for, especially over at Wrigley Field and in Chicago. So we'll see what happens. Everything happens for a reason, so hopefully everything will work out good for me.
Feel that you don't get enough credit for the success you had last year, again, because as a number 5 starter, a 500 pitcher a year ago, an ERA under 4, when I'm guessing if you look across the big leagues, you'd be hard-pressed to find another number 5 starter with those credentials. Do you feel you don't get enough respect for the success you had last year?
I don't think so. I think I had a pretty good season last year, but I still have a bunch of things that I like to improve on, and I like to be able to go deeper in a bunch of games, which I didn't have the chance to do that much last year, and hopefully have a full, strong season, and hopefully get up about 200 innings or maybe a little bit more. So we'll see what happens, and hopefully we'll have a good spring to start us off with that.
Now that you've been through this a little bit, spring training and also some experience now in the big leagues, how different are you as a pitcher today from where you were maybe a year, 2 years ago?
Sure. I guess I came a long ways. I mean, I came in 2 camps ago without even any big league camp experience, and I was fortunate enough to kind of sneak through the cracks and make the team in 2006, and all that experience pitching in the big leagues the last 2 years has definitely helps kind of get to know the players around the league and know how the teams and their philosophies and all that stuff. And it's been good. It's been good learning from some of these veteran guys. We had like Maddox my first year, and we got Carlos is getting into some of his good years here. And it's fun to watch these guys and learn by example. So hopefully we'll just keep learning and keep having continued success.
And our thanks to Sean Marshall for joining us on Cubs Central pregame and for appearing on today's pregame show. Sean receives a gift certificate from Harry Carey's legendary Italian Steakhouse. It's the Cubs and the White Sox coming up. We'll take a break. Jim is back with a look at the Cubs Central Sports Wire next on the WGN Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Want to master the
Cubs Central Sports Wire on News Talk 720 WGN, sponsored by Crafty Beaver Home Centers and Seattle Sutton's Healthy Eating. Welcome back to Cubs Central pregame. Jim Memolo with you this afternoon as the Cubs and guys like me start to get ready for the regular season a week before they close it out in Arizona. Then the Cubs in Vegas next weekend, and then a week from Monday, open the regular season against the Milwaukee Brewers at Wrigley Field. Cubs and White Sox coming up. Let's see what's going on elsewhere in spring training baseball. And they're having a bit of a weather problem in Florida, which might make us feel better around Chicago. Florida, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, and Tampa Bay, Yankees and Toronto all rained out in the Grapefruit League today. And Detroit and Philadelphia started their game, got rained on in the third inning, and that game was canceled. So 4 games in the Grapefruit League have been rained out today. Meantime, you got Washington with a 4-1 win over Atlanta. John Lannon goes 6 innings for the Nationals in that game, gives up just 1 run and 3 hits. Washington beats Atlanta 4-1. Houston leads Cincinnati 6-5 in the bottom of the 8th inning of that spring training game. St. Louis has defeated Minnesota 6-3. Kyle Loesch picked up on a free agent contract by the Cardinals. Goes 5 innings strong in that game, gives up 2 runs and 6 hits. Another game being rained on right now in a delay so far. Cleveland leading the Mets 5-2 in the 7th inning. Beltran, Francisco, Cabrera, Victor Martinez, Casey Blake have all homered in that game again there in a rain delay. A lot of rain in Florida for the Grapefruit League games today. Besides the Cubs and the White Sox in the Cactus League, you got Colorado and Arizona going on it in a couple of minutes. Angels and Dodgers in the battle of the L.A. area. Milwaukee takes on the Giants. Kansas City will be hosting San Diego and Texas and Seattle. And Oakland in Japan beat Yomiuri 4-3 in an exhibition game earlier today. And that's a look at spring training baseball. The NCAA college basketball tournament is going on right now. 8 games coming up today. 1 in progress. Second half. About 8 minutes to go in this one, and West Virginia leads Duke 52-46. West Virginia trailed the entire first half, stormed back, and has outscored Duke 23-12 in the second half of that game. Right now, West Virginia with a 6-point advantage over Duke with a little over 8 minutes to go in that game. Coming up later on, you got Kansas State taking on Wisconsin, and that game starts in about 20 minutes or so. In about 40 minutes is Purdue taking on Xavier. Washington State and Notre Dame square off in a couple of hours. Marquette faces Stanford, UNLV, and Kansas in another matchup. Also Texas A&M and UCLA, a 1-9 in that one. And Michigan State and Pittsburgh much later tonight. Michigan State the 5th seed, and Pittsburgh is the 4th seed. Finally, in golf, third-round action of the World Golf Championship at Doral. Jeff Ogilvy hanging on to the lead, 14 under par for the tournament, 2 under through 11 so far today. Adam Scott 1 stroke behind, 4 under on the day through 11. Vijay Singh is also at 11 under, along with Tim Clark. Tiger Woods now 11 under, but just even on the day through 11 under again for the tournament. Jeff Ogilvy is the leader there. And that's what's going on the scoreboard, both in baseball, college basketball, and in golf. And major news of the day. We'll be back after the game to update you on the Major League Baseball spring training scoreboard. See what happened in the Cactus League today. A lot of rain in the Grapefruit League, as I mentioned before. And we'll throw a few highlights at you in the game coming up between the Cubs and the White Sox. That's up next. Cubs and White Sox in Mesa. Ron and Pat around the corner with the call of the game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Chicago Cubs baseball is on the air from Hohokam Park in Mesa, Arizona. It's a Cactus League battle between the Chicago Cubs and the Chicago White Sox. Good afternoon, everybody. Along with Cubs legend Ron Santo, it's Pat Hughes reporting. It is a picture-perfect day here in the Valley of the Sun. The temperature in the mid-80s in the Phoenix area today. A perfect day for a game. The next to the last weekend of the Cactus League is upon us. 9 days from today, opening day at Wrigley Field. The Cubs take on the Brewers a week from Monday. The starting pitchers today for the Cubs, left-hander Ted Lilly, and for the White Sox, right-hander Javier Vasquez. Each man was a 15-game winner for his respective club a year ago. Lilly for the Cubs, Vasquez for the Sox. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for today's game. For the White Sox, leading off and playing second base, Pablo Osuna. Osuna to lead off. Juan Uribe batting second and playing short. The Sox number 3 hitter is Paul Konerko. Konerko at first base. Jermaine Dye in right. Joe Creedy to bat number 5. Creedy at third base. Carlos Quentin in left field. Batting seventh in center is Brian Anderson. Toby Hall is the White Sox catcher this afternoon. And batting ninth, right-hander, the veteran Javier Vasquez. Those are the Sox. Here are the Cubs on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. Mike Fontenot will lead off and play shortstop. Batting second and playing in left, Alfonso Soriano. Derek Lee at first base. The number 4 hitter at third base is Aramis Ramirez. Kosuke Fukudome to bat fifth. Fukudome in right. Mark DeRosa at second base. Giovanni Soto doing the catching. The number 8 Cubs hitter is center fielder Felix Pie. And batting ninth, left-hander Ted Lilly. We are set to go. The Cubs are on the field. Baseball is next on the WGN Cubs Radio Network. Ted Lilly's first pitch is taken in there for a called strike, and away we go. Lilly coming back to Pablo Osuna. The right-handed batter cracks one in the air to left field. Playable for Soriano. He misjudged the ball. It's over his head up against the wall. Osuna has a double. Soriano, he's going for 3. There's going to be a relay and a throw to third, not in time. Osuna with a triple, a ball misjudged badly in left field by Alfonso Soriano. He started in on that ball, Ron, and it sailed over his head.
Yeah, and you can look at the sky today as there's not a cloud in the sky. Now, I would say sometimes you look at that kind of play and you think that maybe he got it in the sun, and he could have been, if he didn't come in, he would have caught that ball, I would say. But when he came in and then he had to go back, probably he lost it in the sun. But you called it right, Pat.
Juan Uribe swings and misses at a good fastball by Ted Lilly. It has scored a triple for Pablo Osuna, but it was a ball that simply should have been caught in left by Soriano.
Yeah, and
outside 1-1.
Fontenot it was a one hop to him, and he kind of bobbled a little bit, almost. If he catches that ball cleanly, they might have had a shot.
Osuna with good speed to get to third base. The next offering popped up, broken bat, fly ball shallow left center, falling in for a base hit, and the White Sox lead 1-0. A broken bat blooper into shallow left center. Juan Uribe gives the Sox an early 1-0 lead. That bat shattered.
Yeah. Yeah, looks like a line drive in the paper.
Yeah, and an RBI.
Yeah.
Osuna scores. Uribe at first. And the batter, Paul Konerko. Ronnie, tell us about Ted Lilly.
Well, Ted Lilly this spring, Pat, has got a little high ERA, but he's a bulldog, and he hasn't been throwing a lot of curveballs or sliders. He's been mainly fastball changeup. So I know now we just almost a week away, and he's going to. I would say today he'll use his whole repertoire.
And those breaking balls, Ron, they take more out of the pitcher's arm.
Absolutely.
The twisting and the torque. Here's a swing and a foul back by Paul Konerko. But you can imagine throwing those curveballs, the wrist and the forearms and the elbows and the shoulders and the sliders.
That's why you don't see a lot of them. And Pat, that's a good point you bring up, because that's why I would say you have to have a good spring, because the first half of spring training is nothing but fastballs and changeups.
We're just underway. Sox lead 1-0. Nobody out. Paul Konerko, the batter. Konerko swings at a change and doesn't get it.
Very good changeup. He's got a great changeup. And it's very difficult here for curveballs. I mean, the air's light, and you don't get the break that you get somewhere else. It's almost like not as bad as Denver, but curveballs don't go that well there either.
Konerko strikes out on another high off-speed pitch.
That was a changeup.
Konerko asking the home plate umpire, Darrell Cousins, was that a strike that I swung at? And I think it was probably upstairs. But he went fishing, and down he goes. Konerko strikes out. And the batter is Jermaine Dye. 1-0, a run in, a man at first, and here's Jermaine Dye. Lilly throws to first, not in time. The Cubs in their home whites with the blue pinstripes, blue hats, numbers, and socks. The White Sox in their traveling uniforms. This is a Cubs home game at beautiful Hohokam Park. And the pitch on the way to Dye is taken for a strike, a good fastball. The Sox with their traveling unis, black shirts, silver numbers, gray trousers, black socks, black hats, and black shoes. Dye hitting .204 during the Cactus League. Lilly with a changeup outside, and the count now is 1-1. The starting lineups a few moments ago brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Experience, wellness, everywhere. Now the stretch and the pitch. Big chop slowly to third. A charging Ramirez will make the play across the diamond in time. Advancing to second is Uribe, and that's out number 2. Ramirez has been bothered with a little bit of a sore shoulder during the spring, but he is okay in the last several days. Ramirez cracked his first home run earlier this week.
I asked him about it today, how his arm, and he said fine.
Everyone pretty healthy running in camp.
Which is great.
Kerry Wood is going to work today.
Yep.
2 outs, and here is Creedy taking outside ball one. Wood is scheduled to work both today and tomorrow. Lou Piniella wants to see Kerry Wood work in back-to-back games. And if he can pass that test this weekend, here's the pitch on the way. Creedy hits a high fly ball, a pop fly, foul, right side, Lee over. He has room, and he's got it.
Beautiful.
To end the inning. More about Kerry Wood later. The Sox get a gift run. 1 run on 2 hits. They leave 1 after a half. Sox 1 and the Cubs coming up. Today's game time temperature 84 degrees, and the game time temperature sponsored by Four Seasons Heating and Air Conditioning. For all the right reasons, Four Seasons. Pat Hughes and Ron Santo with you on a beautiful day in the Valley of the Sun. 1-0 White Sox. Now the Cubs will get their first look at right-hander Javier Vasquez. The veteran delivers to Mike Fontenot. The left-handed batter takes outside ball one. It's a sellout today. No surprise there. The Cubs drawing tremendously well this spring, averaging almost 12,000 per home game. Incredible for spring training when you think about it. 12,000 a game.
Yeah, amazing.
There's a strike, 1-1.
I think we've been number one for quite a few years, haven't we?
Seems that way, Ron.
Yeah.
Both at home and on the road.
Yeah.
Here's a pitch down low, 2-1. 410 feet to straightaway center, 340 down the lines, and about 380 to the alleys here in Mesa. Vasquez missing outside for a ball. Ronnie, tell us about Vasquez.
Well, Vasquez, Pat, is a guy that changes speeds very well. He used to have a very good sinking fastball. Still has it, but he doesn't have the velocity he used to have. He's in and out with the pitches. He'll change speeds, try to hit the corners. I feel very strongly he's comfortable to face. And you can pick him up a lot easier because of the type of windup he has is not herky-jerky, and he comes over the top on occasion, sometimes three-quarters. So it's comfortable for a hitter.
1-0 Sox. Outside ball 4 to Fontenot. It's a leadoff walk, and here's Alfonso Soriano. A stretch in the pitch. Alfonso hits a high fly ball into left center. Anderson, the center fielder, shading his eyes from the sun and makes the catch. He quickly looked away as soon as he grabbed that ball, indicating that that sun is nasty today.
Oh, yeah. There's no doubt. When it's clear like this,
Soriano pops out, and here is Derek Lee. The White Sox with Quentin in left, Anderson in center and Dye in right. Konerko and Osuna on the right side of the infield defensively. Uribe at short, Creedy at third. Hall catching, and the veteran right-hander Javier Vasquez working to Derek Lee. Here's the pitch. Lee chops it foul. Ronnie, much has been written and said about the Cubs' lack of offense in the Cactus League. How concerned are you about that?
Well, I always get concerned, Pat, because spring training, is to have a good spring and you get some momentum going. And we've got quite a few of our big hitters not really swinging the bats that well. And it's just like what Lou said. He likes to get 45 or 50 at-bats during the spring, but he did not play these guys early. We had 20 non-roster players, so there could be a reason. But, boy, we're going to be leaving here, which is great hitting weather. And we just have not scored a lot of runs.
Lee fouls it away, had a pitch to hit, fouled it back.
But you never know. When that bell rings, Pat, I do know it's different. And you got to remember, I keep forgetting, because when I played, and I bring it up as, we were down here for 6 weeks, we needed it. These guys come down here, they only need about 3 weeks if they were to play every day.
Derek Lee's average down at 156 during the Cactus League. The pitch. Sinking fastball is low and away. Vasquez among the leaders in the big leagues a year ago with 213 strikeouts. He quietly had a very good season.
Yeah.
He was 15-8 for a White Sox team that lost 90 ball games. So this guy really was not their problem a year ago.
He's like
Lee takes inside, Ron, 2-2.
a right-handed Lily. I mean, just changes speeds. He hits spots. He's got a good breaking ball, slider, good changeup.
Vasquez has been durable also, making 30 or more starts for 8 consecutive years. Here's the pitch to Lee. Cracked on the ground, one hop off the glove of a diving Osuna into shallow right center, a base hit. Lee a single, a smash to the left of the second baseman Osuna, who did a good job just to get leather on that ball.
Yeah, and that's where, I know Lee likes to hit. He hits all fields, but he likes to go the other way, especially a guy like Vasquez, because he is the guy that's going to keep the ball away from you.
It's an infield single for Lee, a hot smash off the glove of Osuna. Fontenot stopped at second. Cubs trail 1-0. Bottom of the first, 1 away, 2 on. Here's Aramis Ramirez. The pitch. Aramis takes a curve for a strike. Ronnie, we've talked, you get to within 10 days of opening day, and I think you've told me many times, this is about the time when a batter wants to feel like his swing and his timing and his confidence are where he wants them to be. Here's a pitch up high, and it's 1-1.
Most definitely, because now you're going to see us probably by this Monday, or maybe this Monday, we might be down to our limit. You never know, and the starters are going to be playing a lot of baseball the last week, and they're going to see pitchers with their best stuff. So that's important, that you want to be able to be ready for this week and get some momentum going home and opening up at home.
Cubs are down to 36 players in camp. Yesterday, they sent left-hander Neil Kotz and backup catcher Coy Hill to the minor league complex. 36 has to be down to 25. Ramirez hits it foul out of play, and the count now is 2-2. Cubs have to make 11 more cuts in the next 8 or 9 days.
Well, I asked Lou about is he going to be down at 25 men when we go to Vegas, but he said they'll carry a couple extra, but he'll be pretty much to the 25 as far as who's going to go to Chicago with us.
The runner goes. Ramirez takes low, throw to third base. Fontenot slides, save, double steal. Lee safe at second. Fontenot had a big jump and steals third as Ramirez strikes out looking.
On an inside fastball, and I think, I mean, you've always asked me, does that kind of surprise you? if a guy at second base, especially Ramirez, who is an RBI man, hitting fourth on a team, it might have surprised him, and he might end up not being as aggressive as he would have been.
Just a slight distraction.
Yeah, that's right.
Second and third run, 2 down for Kosuke Fukudome. Cubs trail 1-0. Let's see if they can get even, or better yet, take the lead with 2 outs. Fukudome's average at just .205.
Yeah.
Left-handed hitter with 1 homer in the spring and 5 runs batted in.
Our big men have not hit the home run this spring.
There's a pitch in there for a strike. Speaking of Fukudome and the fact that he's a great Japanese star, the big league season is going to begin Tuesday over in Japan. Boston against the Oakland A's. Runners lead at second and third. The pitch. Backdoor curve stays outside to the left-handed batter. 2-1. I was reading that the great Japanese star Daisuke Matsusaka is going to be the opening day starter for the defending world champion Red Sox in his homeland of Japan. It's got to be exciting for him. Curve fouled away, and it's still 1-2.
Got to be a little pressure, too.
You bet.
This is where you really want to see a base hit. The 2-out base hit here in this situation is big.
2 outs, 2 on. 2-2 on Kosuke Fukudome. The right-hander for the White Sox, Javier Vasquez, is set and delivers. Swing and a miss. He got him on a fastball that tailed outside, and it might have been high also. Fukudome did not take a real good-looking swing, and down he goes. Cubs get a walk and a hit, walk away with nothing. At the end of 1, the score, White Sox 1, Cubs nothing. Second inning, Carlos Quentin leads it off for the White Sox. Today's game brought to you by Unique Indoor Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning. Our thanks to Unique Indoor Comfort Heating and Air. They've been with us all during the Cactus League. Nice to have them aboard, and we appreciate their sponsorship very, very much. With Ron Santo, Pat Hughes, and Mesa. Gorgeous Saturday afternoon. Bright and sunny, cloudless blue skies overhead. Very little breeze today as Ted Lilly starts the second inning with a high fastball to the right-handed batting Quentin. Lots and lots of scouts are in attendance today, which is certainly nothing new for a spring training game or a regular season game for that matter. But with all of the trade rumors and teams trying to get their rosters exactly where they want them to be for opening day. Here's a high fly ball to left, shallow. Coming in is Soriano. Going out is Fontenot making the catch. Fontenot made the catch in short left, one away. 1-0 White Sox in the second, and here is Brian Anderson. But there are numerous scouts representing virtually every big league team in attendance here today, we understand. And just about every club, probably, certainly the contending teams or teams that hope to be contenders. There are rumors circulating about possible trades. Here's the pitch on the way to Anderson. He strokes one into center field, a base hit. Anderson, a line drive single to center with one away. And the White Sox have their third hit against Ted Lilly. That's the first real clean one, however. Osuna's ball was misjudged by Soriano, and Uribe broke his bat in blooping an RBI single in the first. 1 out, 1 on, and here's the catcher, Toby Hall, coming up. Hall, a right-handed batting, Burley, right-handed batting catcher, as Derek Lee will hold the runner Anderson at first. Cubs with just 8 Cactus League games remaining. Here's the stretch and the pitch. There's a strike. Ron and I will have 5 of those games broadcast for you between now and next Saturday. Tomorrow we'll be over in Peoria, Arizona. Cubs take on San Diego. Same airtime as today. Now the 0-1. Lilly will chase the runner back to first. 1 out, 1 on. 1-0 Sox in the second. Cubs will continue to play every day here through Thursday afternoon. That finale in the Phoenix area, Thursday against Milwaukee, we will have that game for you. It'll start an hour earlier at 2 o'clock Central. And that's the getaway day. Here's a curveball down low, and the count now is 1 ball and 1 strike on Toby Hall. The Cubs will wrap up their exhibition season with 2 games over in Las Vegas. Friday night and Saturday afternoon against the Seattle Mariners at Cashman Field in Vegas. And we will have both of those games for you on the WGN Cubs network. Now Lilly will chase the runner back to first again. This is the second meeting this spring between these two clubs. Last Saturday down in Tucson, the White Sox came from behind to beat the Cubs 5-3. The lead at first by Anderson. The pitch hit high in the air into left center, playable for PA. The center fielder battling the sun grabs it for out number 2.
Well, I'm back, partner.
You okay?
You need any help?
One out, 1 on, or rather 2 outs, and here is Vasquez batting. Ron, we got a new promotion that I mentioned to you earlier today. I was pleased that you have done such extensive research on this promo.
Well, what is it about, Pat?
That's the kind of research we're talking about. There is a fastball in there for a strike.
That's what I was wondering.
Ronnie, the Cubs marketing department has a fun idea. You and I are going to have some fun with it, and other radio people. The Cubs today, or actually a couple of days ago, announced their first ever March to Opening Day Madness. Here's a chopper foul down the left field line. I'm going to read it and explain it to you.
Okay.
To celebrate the coming of Opening Day, the Cubs have organized a 16-song tournament to determine a song to be played as the Cubs take the field on Opening Day. The bracket-style voting tournament will include 15 song choices from local radio stations and Cubs broadcasting partners. Here's the pitch. Curveball, ground ball to short, fielded by Fontenot, shovels to DeRosa, and that's the end of the inning. The song played when the Cubs took the opener last year was Van Halen's Jump, and that will be part of the 16-song bracket. The winner will be decided by fan voting on Cubs.com. I'll continue with this after the break.
Okay.
Sox don't score. They leave one after 1.5. White Sox 1, Cubs nothing. Getting back to the Cubs present March 2 Opening Day Madness, the opening round bracket of songs will be revealed this Monday, March 24, on www.cubs.com, with voting beginning shortly after. Every day, the winners of each pairing will advance as the tournament progresses, kind of like the March Madness of college basketball.
I got you.
The winning station and song will be announced next Saturday during the Cubs' final spring training broadcast from Las Vegas, which we will have, and it'll also be on WGN TV. Bottom of the second inning, Mark DeRosa leads it off, fouls it away, and the count is 0-1. DeRosa hitting .222. Javier Vasquez, the White Sox right-hander, ready to work. And here's the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss by DeRosa, and the count now is 1-1. But, Ronnie, our task is to come up between us with one song that we agree would be appropriate for the Cubs to take the field on opening day. Now, there are a lot of candidates, and you certainly can think about this for a while as DeRosa strokes it foul down the right field line. And do you have a favorite song? I'll throw out a few while you're thinking, if you like.
Yeah, well, you'd have to, because you're better at that. You'll remember songs that I won't, but I'll tell you which ones I like.
DeRosa waits now. Here's the 0-2 pitch by Vasquez. DeRosa takes up and in for a ball, 1-2. Well, let's see, Ron. You could have something like maybe Stairway to Heaven by Led Zeppelin.
Well, I like
swinging a foul back out of play.
I like that Stairway. I do.
You could have I'm So Excited, you know, the song by the Pointer Sisters.
Yeah,
because everyone's kind of excited on opening day.
Exactly, that's good.
And the song by Madonna, which was called Holiday, I believe. Holiday, Celebrate. Here's a fastball, strike three call. DeRosa out on strikes, one away.
Celebrate?
Celebrate, yeah, it's a great because opening day is kind of a celebration.
Yeah,
to me, and
exactly.
It feels kind of like a holiday.
I'm not a big Madonna person.
One away here in the second. Third straight strikeout by Javier Vasquez. Soto, the batter. 1-0 Sox lead. The pitch by Vasquez in there for a called strike.
Well, I tell you one thing about him. He's really he's like throwing darts right now. On the outside part of the plate, inside, changeup. And I can see why he ended up striking out as many as he did last year.
Ron, after the brutal winter that we've all had, and we had another bad day yesterday in the Midwest. Here's a broken back ground ball to second. A charging Osuna will make a short toss to first to get Soto, 2 down. And here's Felix P.A. How about the classic Beatles song, Here Comes the Sun, written, I believe, by George Harrison. Here comes the sun. It's been a long, lonely winter, cold winter, and boy, it has been a long winter in Chicago. 2 outs. Here's Felix P.A.
It's a great song, but I'm not high on that one. I want something that's going to move me.
Okay, here's one that I think we might both like. How about, since he is a great Cub fan, and he's been in our booth, and he's been a Cub fan forever, Jimmy Buffett, how about Margaritaville?
Oh, yeah.
Here's a pitch fouled away off to the left.
That one you came up with?
Why not?
Why not?
Margaritaville.
Oh, man.
Got a good upbeat tune to it. I think the fans would like it. It's a holiday.
Yeah,
Jimmy, a Cub fan?
Oh, big Cub fan. Yeah, I like that.
Here's a high pop-up, shallow left center. Uribe, the shortstop, fighting the sun. Can't see it. Drops in. PA safe on a single. Another ball lost in the sun. We told you it's a tricky sky today.
Right, it really is, and it gets a little worse as spring training goes on here because that sun is something. Boy, you see a lot of fly balls and pop-ups missed.
So, Ronnie, that's our song, okay?
That's our song. I do like Soul Man. I mean, I like that. That's a great, that's a start. But I like, I'm with you there. I'm definitely with you.
Here's Ted Lilly batting. 1-0 Sox, bottom of the second. First pitch down low for a ball. Plus the fact that you've got Milwaukee in town that day, and Prince Fielder just announced that he's a vegetarian. So when Prince comes up, you could have Jimmy Buffett's song Cheeseburger in Paradise playing over the speaker. If you wanted to have a little fun with Prince, here's a ball outside, and the count 2-0.
Well, I'm sure he likes cheeseburgers. No doubt about it.
He used to.
Yeah, well, he's right. Hasn't he lost some weight? But, I mean, hey, he hit 50 home runs.
Why change?
Why change?
There is a strike to Ted Lilly.
You talk about a good hitter and a guy that just kept getting better and better.
Prince Fielder and Milwaukee, they'll be in Wrigley Field on opening day. The pitch. Big chop to short, routine for Uribe. He'll step on the bag to retire PA to end the inning. So that's our entry, Ron, in the Cubs present March to Opening Day Madness. We're going to go with Jimmy Buffett's classic Margaritaville. And we'll keep you updated, and I'm sure you'll be waiting breathlessly for the reports. Cubs don't score. We go to the third. It's the White Sox 1 and the Cubs nothing.
Appreciate it, buddy. Love you guys.
Third inning, Pablo Osuna will lead things off for the Sox. Pat and Ron with you. Again, opening day right around the corner. Tickets are available at Wrigley Field for all games this season. Go to Cubs.com. Give the Cubs a call at 1-800-THE-CUBS or visit the Wrigley Field box office. If the Cubs do score an insurance run today, it will be a Geico insurance run. Geico Insurance on Cubs radio all season long. Ted Lilly working to Pablo Osuna. Left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter, 1-0 White Sox. First pitch, low and inside, ball one. Speaking of Milwaukee, I was reading about Giovanni Gallardo, their talented young right-handed starting pitcher. He's going to have to start the season on the disabled list.
Wow.
Gallardo, and he's a key guy to that team.
Yeah, we saw him for the first time last year, and boy, he looked like a veteran.
Here's a high fly ball into right. Kosuke over near the line, has a bead on it, and pulls it down for out number one. Ron, I'm going to have to investigate this story a little further about Gallardo. I just had a small little, read a small little blurb in the morning paper here in Phoenix. It said Gallardo is going to be on the 15-day disabled list with a torn lateral meniscus in his left knee. He had minor knee surgery at the start of training camp. Now, my confusion would be, did he aggravate the injury, or is he still waiting for the surgery to take hold, if you know what I mean?
Well, I would say, Pat, that he aggravated. I mean, if they're talking about he had surgery and he's back throwing, or has he pitched, or you don't know?
I don't think he's pitched in a game.
Okay, well then he's probably recovering. We'll just check it out.
Mm-hmm. We'll follow it.
Yeah.
Uribe swings and misses. Milwaukee had that big lead of 8 games in the Central Division at one time last season, but starting pitching was what really caused them to go backward.
Yeah, Ben Sheets was out quite a few times. Capuano had a terrible year, which was big. And
Jeff Suppan struggled.
Suppan struggled. They really struggled. They had a good bullpen, though. Excellent bullpen.
And their lineup, you have to like their lineup.
Yeah, oh, yeah. And Cordero now. I mean, I think it's going to be the opposite if they stay healthy. So the closer.
Curveball is low to Uribe. Ball 4. It's a 1-out walk. And the batter, Paul Konerko. 1-0 White Sox here in the third inning. Konerko struck out his first time. If you're just joining us, the Sox scored right away off Lilly. The leadoff batter in the game, Pablo Osuna, hit a fly ball to left that was misjudged by Soriano. It went for a triple. And then Osuna scored on a broken bat bloop single to center by Uribe. Here's Konerko swinging at a high fastball and fouling it away, out of play.
That's the kind of like that's real high and then hits the walkway and bounces, so everybody has a chance to grab it.
Not going to hurt anybody?
No. I tell you, the other day, Patrick, I was sitting up, in the office up here and out on the balcony there, and I was by myself, and Derek Lee was hitting, and I had my prescription sunglasses on, thank goodness, because if I had my regular ones, I would have not seen that ball. And he hit, a rocket, fouled it back right at me. And, there was no way it came to eat. It would have tore up my hand. And I ducked right over my head, hit the window, and bounced back.
Really?
Oh, geez.
A near miss.
Yeah, I got booed.
You did? Maybe they were just saying Ron, and it sounded like booing.
Right.
Here's a pitch high for a ball, and the count is 1-2 on Konerko. Konerko looks like he's ready to go, hitting .346.
He's just a good hitter.
The Sox had their work cut out for them in their opening series in Cleveland against the Indians. They have a date with C.C. Sabathia a week from Monday. Sabathia against Mark Burley, the talented left-hander for the Sox. Nice to see Kenny Williams, the White Sox general manager. He is right next door to us today.
Oh, he is?
Soaking up the action. Looking over the talent on the field. Here's the 1-2. Konerko takes high for a ball. 2-2.
Kenny Williams, was he a football player?
He was a football player in college at Stanford University. He played with John Elway in college, and then he was a big league ball player. He played for the Sox, among other teams. Very talented athlete, playing at a high level in 2 sports. Here's the pitch to Konerko. Hit in the air to right. Well hit back toward the track. Fukudome backpedaling now, makes the catch. I like the way he made that play.
Oh, he's really good, Pat. Yeah, you could see, we heard a lot about his defense. Just a good athlete. And I know what you mean by that. That ball was hit pretty good. He took off right away and then turned around and squared himself and made the catch. 2 hands.
But he got the quick jump.
Yeah, that was the key.
He got moving quickly in the right direction, and his footwork very soft and coordinated. 2 outs, and here's Jermaine Dye.
Well, the one thing you don't want to do with a ball like that is back up. You want to turn, get a good jump, and then square around to catch it.
Kind of like the move you made on Derek Lee's foul ball the other day.
Duck. That's my move.
2 outs. Here's Dye hitting a high pop fly. On the infield, the second baseman, DeRosa, battling the sun. He will make the catch to end the inning. No runs, no hits, a walk, and a man left. After 2.5 innings in Mesa, White Sox 1, Cubs nothing. Third inning, Mike Fontenot first up for the Cubs against Javier Vasquez. 1-0 Sox. Fontenot, Soriano, and Lee against the veteran right-hander Vasquez.
You know, Fontenot, I think he's going to make this ball club as utility. He's playing a little shortstop. They want to see if he can play, and he plays it well. And he's such a good hitter. He's got such a short swing, Pat, and coming off the bench, he can hit left and right-handers. And for a little guy, he's got a lot of power.
Had a long homer in Atlanta last June.
Ooh.
Here's a curveball for a strike.
Well, the other day, he hit one the other way out here.
Now the 1-1 from the right-hander. Fontenot takes inside. I remember a ball Fontenot hit that ended a game at Wrigley. Everyone thought it was going to be a home run, but it died on the warning track. I think it was against Cincinnati, if I'm not mistaken. Now the 2-0. Wrapped on the ground, one hop to second base. Osuna will throw to first in time. Fontenot lines out on one bounce to second, and here's Soriano. Ronnie, you might have been gone. I said there are a lot of scouts at the ballpark today, many of them seated right behind home plate, directly behind the screen here in Mesa.
Well, I know there's been, Pat, we mentioned, I think the last Sunday, I think we mentioned the fact that there was 42 scouts here. And, of course, Baltimore got 3 scouts here. So something's cooking.
Here's a fastball inside. I know you get the question every day.
Yeah.
So do I about the Cubs' possible deal with Baltimore.
Well, as far as I know, Pat, and I'm not sure of it, but both, they're looking at a center fielder, they're looking at of course, Brian Roberts.
Swing and a miss, a good high fastball.
That's been going on quite a while, and we'll just have to wait and see.
But I somewhat jokingly always respond and say, Jim Hendry does not consult with me prior to trades. Here's a liner to third. A liner to third caught by Creedy. A sharply hit ball by Soriano as he timed a breaking pitch nicely, but lined it straight to Creedy. 2 down.
Yeah, well, I don't think he talks to too many people, except maybe assistant general manager. And
do you have to sign off on these trades?
Oh, no.
Okay. Now, those are Jim Hendry's decisions.
Absolutely.
And, well, they should be. He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing is right.
Lee swings and misses, and the count is 0-1. Lee had an infield single his first time. Vasquez really throwing the ball well.
As I told you, you could just see the hitters are very anxious. He's throwing a lot of strikes, and they're anticipating, and I've been there before, when a guy throws as many strikes as he does, you anticipate a pitch.
Swing and a miss.
And he's throwing sliders, he's throwing a changeup, and like I said, he's like a dart thrower. He's throwing on the outside part of the plate, and then he busts you inside. But I'll bet you if I ask anybody, he's very comfortable. But they don't look comfortable.
1-2 to Lee, just outside. Didn't miss by much. 2-2. That's a pretty good pitch.
Yeah, it's a pretty good pitch, and anytime you see a hitter get out there with the hands, they move forward and the ball breaks. So he had him fooled on that pitch.
1-0 White Sox, third inning, 2 down, bases empty, the 2-2. Lee hits one in the air to right, pretty well hit. Back is Dye, back near the warning track at the wall. Dye makes the catch up against the screen. Right in front of the Cubs bullpen, Derek Lee almost hit one out to the opposite field, but not quite. Dye reached up, backpedaled into that green screen fence, and took probably a double away from Derek Lee. Cubs all hit the ball hard in the inning, but nothing to show for it. We go to the fourth. White Sox 1, Cubs nothing.
From the WGN newsroom, Cantaloupes from
Joe Creedy leads off the White Sox fourth against left-hander Ted Lilly. Lilly hoping to work 5, maybe 6 innings today as the starters gradually extend themselves deeper and deeper into ball games so that by the end of the camp you're working maybe 7 innings.
Yeah.
Here's the pitch on the way. Creedy takes outside.
We're a week, and as long as he's throwing strikes, and he could go 6 for sure. Creedy really struggling, Pat. 125 batting average in spring training. I know he's had some health problems and last year, and you wonder, is he going to start coming around?
He had back surgery and did not play after June 12 last season. The White Sox really missed him. Here's the pitch. Creedy takes high. His glove alone would save a couple of runs a day over at third base.
Yeah, but, you know, when you look at third base and first base, you want some pop. He's got pop. Defensively, he is excellent. And he is a good hitter, but since the back surgery, you wonder. You know, you don't know. And you'd hate, you know, for coming back and not having a good spring has a lot to do with the mental aspect of the game.
And anytime a guy has surgery, Ron, here's the 2-2. Fastball just inside, ball 4.
Thought he had him.
Creedy draws the leadoff walk, and here's Carlos Quentin. 1-0 Sox, 4th inning. Nobody out and a man on. Anytime a guy has surgery, you wonder, is he as strong after the surgery? And as you say, mentally, is he concerned about really cutting loose and giving it all he's got in fear that he might re-injure himself?
Exactly. Now, you don't know, you know, but anytime I've never had back problems, Pat, which I'm so fortunate.
Fly ball, right center, well hit. Back goes PA, back toward the right center field wall. It's over his head, bouncing over the fence for a ground rule double. Carlos Quentin, former Diamondback, drove one over the head of PA into deep right center. It landed on the warning track and hopped up into the stands. The fence in that part of the park is about 10 feet high.
You know, it just seems like, and it's probably happening, I mean, to everybody. You're not getting that good jump on the ball because you're not picking it up because of the high sky here in Arizona, and a lot of balls are dropped. Because I thought he had a shot at that, but he didn't get a good jump. Well, how'd you see it?
He hit it hard. Quentin really put a charge into one, gets a double. And here's Anderson batting. Infield back, 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. 4th inning, 1-0 Sox. Lilly could use a strikeout or two as Anderson swings and misses at a change.
Good changeup.
But I agree with you that PA did not get quite as good of a jump as he might have on the ball, Ron.
And if you don't see the ball right away, you're not going to get a jump. You know, in the infield, it's all instinctive.
Anderson swings and misses. Now it's 0-2, and now Lilly is thinking strikeout. Ted tied a career high with his 15 wins a year ago.
He's just what makes Ted so good, Pat, is when he gets in trouble, he seems to get out of it. He doesn't let that affect him on the mound. And he could see right now.
Now the 0-2. Oh, tapped foul. Anderson reaching for a low outside change.
And he knows Anderson right now has missed 2 off-speed pitches. So he's going to try to get him. He's ahead in the count. He's going to try to get him out with something off-speed and down and away, or, which he is very good at, busting him inside with a good fastball. He could pitch inside as well as any left-hander.
Right-handed batter waits, and now time called. Soto runs out to chat with Lilly. Cubs baseball today, brought to you by Unique Indoor Comfort, Heating and Air Conditioning.
Now, this is a situation where Soto probably, it's one or the other. Maybe Lilly wants to go away. Maybe Soto wants to come in, so they had to get their numbers together right there, what they're going to do. So I got to believe it's going to be Lilly. Whoever throws it, it's going to be his decision.
Now Lilly ready for the 0-2 to Brian Anderson on the way. Fly ball right center. Coming in, PA. It lands in there for a base hit. A run is in. Advancing to third and holding is Quentin. RBI single for Brian Anderson. He tried to throw a high fastball
in,
and Anderson jumped on it.
Yeah, he wanted to get it in, Pat, and he got it over the plate. He didn't get a good piece of it, but they've had a couple cheap hits here.
2-0 White Sox. Anderson is 2 for 2. His 12th RBI, make it his 11th RBI of the spring. Still nobody out, and here is Toby Hall. Again, the infield back. From the stretch, runners lead at the corners. The pitch. Low, ball 1. Getting back to a point you made about a catcher and a pitcher talking over a pitch selection, would you say, Ron, generally, the more veteran a pitcher is, the more it becomes his decision?
Absolutely. The only time it might not be is right when you talk about a young pitcher. But right there.
Here's a swing and a high pop fly. This will not drive in a run as DeRosa in short center will squeeze it for out number 1. That's as good as a strikeout.
But to also, Pat, let you know, sometimes a catcher, can see if a hitter is moving his feet, maybe moving up on the plate, thinking, or back on the plate, and a lot of guys do that. And maybe the catcher feels, hey, we had him, I think in that situation, and I will ask Soto, that he was thinking of maybe going away, and I know that with ahead in the count with 2 strikes, that he wanted to come inside Lily.
Here's a bunt. It's a straight sacrifice by the pitcher Vasquez, holding at third Quentin. Derek Lee bare-handing the bunt near first and lobbing it to DeRosa, covering the bag at first. Straight sacrifice. Anderson goes to second. Quentin held at third. 2 outs. Vasquez with a sacrifice, score at 3-4. And with 2 outs and 2 in scoring position, the batter is Pablo Osuna.
And if he can get out of this inning, he's done a heck of a job right here with just 1 run. So this is really a big out.
Osuna today reached on a triple and flied out. The pitch. Swing and a miss. I say reached on a triple because it was a ball that was simply lost in the sun by left fielder Alfonso Soriano. But that happens here in Arizona. Now Lilly ready for the 0-1. A little tap slowly up along third. Tough play.
Man,
That's
play.
a base hit. A swinging bunt for an RBI single for Pablo Osuna. Sox lead 3-0.
And it was a heck of a pitch, Pat. That ball was down and away, and he reached out and just flipped the wrist, and just a slow roller. Couldn't have been any better. It was like laying down a perfect bunt.
It stopped in the grass, maybe 2 feet from the third baseline, maybe 40 feet up the line from home. Lilly bare-handed the ball and had no play. Now Uribe swings and misses. So the Sox have scored twice. They lead 3-0 here in the 4th.
And look at the hits they scored on. But that's baseball.
Uribe has singled and walked, swings and misses, and it's 0-2.
2 changeups. Now let's see what he throws here.
I think sometimes, Ron, in an inning like this and an outing like this, a pitcher like Lilly has to say, I know I'm making good pitches.
Oh, yeah.
Even though the results are not great.
That's right.
Here's the pitch. Here's a liner to left, base hit. Solid single over toward the line. Soriano cuts it off. And another run is in, and now it's 4-0 Sox.
Now he made a bad pitch on an 0-2 count. That's what hurts the pitcher right there. Now Larry Rothschild heading out to the mound. It looked like a fastball that he just didn't get in. But, boy, you hate to see that with when you got an 0-2 count.
4 hits in the inning. The Sox have scored 3 times. It all started with a leadoff walk to Joe Creedy. It's amazing how many times a leadoff walk leads to a big inning.
Yeah.
And Konerko, the 8th White Sox to bat in this 4th inning. But a pitcher run many times in the spring with conditions, with tough sun issues and the ball carrying sometimes in windy conditions, I think a pitcher just has to say, I know I made good pitches. It was another step getting ready for the regular season. And if I pitch this way all year during the regular year, I'm going to be okay.
Well, there's no doubt about that, Pat. It's when they make a mistake like he did there. He could have been out of the inning with a good pitch. And get out of the inning without an extra run. But there are pitchers, Pat, as you know, could have off years because you don't score for them. And then there's guys that go out to the mound and they get nothing but runs.
Yeah. It's funny the way that works.
Yeah.
There is a pitch that missed. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Paul Konerko.
It's like when you say it's funny the way it works. It's not funny, that picture.
No.
But I think about the time that I was 0 for 12.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was. The reason.
Here's the 0-1. A little pop fly on the infield. DeRosa or Lee? Lee, the first baseman, will make the catch. We'll get back to your story after the break. Sox score 3 times. And as we go to the bottom of the 4th, it's the White Sox 4 and the Cubs nothing.